People ask me all the time, so Rich, how did you end up becoming a comedian? And I always say, why do you say end up, like I made a mistake? It's kind of a polite conversation you have with a tramp. So, fella, how'd you end up in a skip? The most fantastic job in the world, right? You make people laugh, you, fella, with all that stress on your face. Look at you, sitting in the front row trying to get the jokes before anyone else. How desperate are you for comedy, my friend? Well, you people, Brits, but... Oh, I'm sorry, what? I wasn't expecting a response. Do you work?
I'm a student.
A student, all right. No more questions, Your Honor. It's very easy, no heavy lifting. Yeah? Why don't you think about being a comedian? What are you studying?
History.
History. That goes back a long time, doesn't it? Why don't you try American history? A couple hundred years. Boom, you're done. Listen, here's the thing, all right? You just say intelligent things stupidly. That's all there is to being a comedian. Or maybe it's stupid things intelligently. It's not rocket surgery. I'll tell you that right now. That's what I get asked all the time. So I bet you were the class clown. Were you the class clown? Screw you. Why would you suggest I took a childhood disorder and turned it into a career, you prick? No one ever says to a hooker, were you the class whore? I bet you were the class whore, weren't you? Let the mystery be. I love watching Brits snap. That is the greatest thing in the world. When a Brit snaps, you don't even know they've snapped. It's not like Americans who take out 8 or 9 people with a high-powered rifle because they're social animals. Brits snap and you go, 2 hours later thinking, I think that guy snapped while I was talking to him. At that point where he crushed the pint glass with his hand, he was a bit pissed off. That's why when it comes to a war on terror, something we invented, the war on terror, because Brits would never have a war on terrify, because what's not terrifying to Brits? Everything. They just don't show it, right? Brit, you've had giants plucking your daughters out of villages a couple thousand years ago. Look that one up, history boy. It's true. So the basic British reaction to anything terrifying is this. How much is this going to cost? You can't really terrify. That's why I'm pretty sure the war, the whole terrorism thing, I think the terrorists have just kind of given up on Britain, because what can they possibly do, right? Listen, I would never compare the scopes of tragedy of, say, the World Trade Center to the bombs that blew up in London, but the reaction is completely different, right? America still has this entire culture of fear about terrorism. It's basically manifests itself by terror alerts being scrolled across the bottom of the TV screen by color. No explanation whatsoever. Just today's terror alert is orange. Now back to our show. What the hell was that? What does that mean? Orange, that's hunting accidents, roadworks, right? That's not good. It means be very, very aware of terror. So dwell on it now and then. Whereas in Britain, they blow up the buses in London, next day people are back at the bus stop waiting for the bus, right? And complaining about it because they're Brits. Bus is late. I mean, it's late. The one yesterday blew up. Yeah, well, that was yesterday. Today's today. I live in the present and the bus is late. That's why when you watch a Brit snap, right, you got to get really close to them. They'll pick a high street and just corkscrew for a while. That's... Not even knowing what direction to... What direction is corkscrew anyway? This is bullshit. And then you get too close and then you get sucked into the vortex, right? Are you okay? That moment when a Brit truly snaps, and it looks like this. I'm going to write a letter. That's it. I've been pushed to the brink, you bastard. Nobody treats me like this, you son of a bitch. Huh? I'm not emailing this, I'm writing this. Wait till you get that tomorrow. Big red pillar box right in the mail. Postal strike.
I tried to buy bedding not so long ago. Has anybody done that? No! Where does bedding come from? You just accumulate bedding, don't you? All your bloody... Has anybody here tried to buy a duvet? Have you? How did you get on?
Not too well.
Not too well. Did you come up against the old TOG rating system? It's like the Spanish Inquisition in there, isn't it? I went into Debenhams. I said, I'd like a duvet, please. He said, what TOG do you want? I said, what watch? She said, what dog? I said, what watch? She said, what dog? I said, what watch? I said, I can hear you. I just don't know what the hell you're talking about. What is a dog? I went to school. We did metric. We did feet and inches. Nobody ever mentioned dogs. What the bloody hell is a dog? She said, it's the thickness of the duvet. I said, all right, I'll have 1 million. I was thinking of torches again, right? She said, you can have 8, 10.5. 12. I said, 0.5? 0.5 of a dog? Now you're giving me 0.5. I don't know what a dog is. How am I supposed to know if I want 0.5 of a dog? She said, well, when are you going to be used it? I said, at night. Why do you think I'm going to be used it? It's a duvet, isn't it? When do people normally use duvets? Think I only go to bed at Friday lunchtimes or in the ad breaks or when Jupiter aligns with Mars. It's a duvet. She said, but will you be using it 52 weeks of the year? I thought, no, I'm going to sell it to cash converters and buy it back every now and again. That seems to make a lot of sense. She said, if you're buying it at this time of year, get a 12.5. I said, what do you mean if? What do you mean if I'm buying it at this time of year? I'm here, aren't I? What other time of year can I be buying it? I said, you're here, I'm here. This is the sale. This isn't a dry run. This is Debenhams, not the Italian job. I'm not casing the bloody joint. Let's do it now. Oh, it's not even finished. I'm not even halfway through. She said, well, how much do you want to spend? I said, if you're selling it now, about £30. She said, oh, you'll have to have feather. Oh, you'll have to have feather for that. Oh, you'll have to have a feather one for that price. I said, that's all right, I'll have a feather one. That sounds all right. Oh, no, they get a bit prickly. Oh, did you have this? They get a bit prickly, the feather ones. It's the quill bits, you see, the quill bits. They get a bit prickly. I thought, well, what the hell are you doing filling a duvet with prickly quill bits? I can't think of anything worse to fill a duvet with than something prickly, unless you've got them out the back full of stabby things or burny stuff. I said, I just want a nice, soft, comfortable duvet. Is this too much to ask? Just give me a nice, soft, comfortable duvet. She said, well, get down then. I hit the deck like my nerves had gone. She said, get up. I said, you said get down. She said, I meant get down instead of feather, you bloody idiot. Get down instead of feather. I said, all right, I will have down. At last we're getting somewhere. I will have down. Give me, she said, do you want duck or goose? I said, I'm going to punch you in a minute. Down you in a minute. I don't care if it's duck or goose. I'm not going to eat it. I'm just going to sleep under the bloody thing. All right, duck, duck. She didn't. I punched her. She went down. I said duck. I told you duck. She said, I thought you meant duck instead of goose. I thought you meant. I said, no, you started that shit. I couldn't care less whether it's duck or goose. She said, but goose is much more comfortable than duck, sir. Goose is much more comfortable than duck. I thought, is it? Is it really that much more comfortable? How much more comfortable than duck and goose be? Have you ever seen a particularly uncomfortable duck, madam? Because I haven't. Have you ever had a duck waddle up to you going, it's all right for them geese, this is bloody killing me, this.
We need to bring back a sense of consequences for our actions. In this world, there are no more consequences for actions, yeah? And what I'm talking about, if there's no consequences in this life, what we need to do is bring back to Britain a simple sense of hell. The idea that if we screw up in this life, right, we will burn in sulphur for all eternity in the next life. Now, this is quite a tough sell, right? You don't like that idea, do you? Right, but hear me out, this is a good idea. We got any Christians present? I need your assistance. Any Christian people here this evening? Yeah, in the pink shirt. What's your name, son? Josh. Fantastic. You a Christian? So you understand the idea of redemption, eternity, yeah? Resurrection, eternity in particular. And I do too. I understand the notion of eternity because I went to church on Sunday. Let me tell you this, that service went on forever. If it took me an hour to open a bottle of wine, I'd be drummed out of business. Now, the point is this. How long does it take to own a packet of crisps? Get on with it. Now, we need to bring back... Now, the problem with the idea of hell is no one's frightened of it. Now, I'm going to describe hell for you now, and none of you are going to bat an eyelid, right? And while your body's boiling in the mouldering in the grave, we'll take your soul and boil it in boiling oil for 1,000 millennium. Then after that, 2 sulphurous demons, emissaries of Satan himself, will come along, pull out your kidneys and set fire to them on the red-hot coals of hell itself. Then after this, another demon will come along, pull out your eyeballs, stick them on a red-hot poker, burn them on the hot coals of hell, and stick them up your arsehole, and they'll come out your own mouth with this shit on it. And this will go on forever. So you're not bothered by that, are you? In fact, most of you are laughing at it. Huh? In fact, most of us, being British, are thinking, well, come on then! Got yourself the devil! And that's the interesting thing about hell, isn't it? When you describe it, when someone describes hell, it tells you everything you need to know about that person, right? And what he's like and what his people are like. And I described hell then in a normal British accent, which tells you that we, the British, are stoic, tough people who could take absolutely bloody anything. Right? And that's the interesting thing about hell. It tells you about the people telling you about it. Hell, in a French accent, for instance, sounds like a recipe. And while the body is lying down and the worms inside the flesh, we take out the soul and place it in very hot oil for a long time. Then, once it is tender, two demons come together at once, remove the kidneys and place them on the hot coals with a little white wine vinegar, some sea salt, and some rosemary, and cook them till they're brown on the outside but still pink in the middle. Then after this, we take the eyeballs, place them on the hot coals, cook them till they're crunchy on the outside, runny in the middle, on the hot poker, stick them up the arse, they come out the mouth with the shit on. It is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Hey, you see? Perverts! Perverts, basically, yeah? Hell. Hell in a Dutch accent sounds like a pretty good stag do, doesn't it? Hey, and while your body is lying down, we'll take you to the hottest place you can imagine. Imagine the hottest place you can go, yeah? Now go even hotter. And two demons will come together and rub oil all over your body. Two demons together. Two demons together at once, and then you would take out your kidneys. Oh, your hot kidneys. Your hot kidneys. And place the kidneys in a hot place and cook the kidneys till they're hard, until your kidneys are hard. And then take out your eyeballs and stick them in your bum hole. And this will cost you 45 euros. Hey, I mean, really? Sounds like an agreeable weekend.
So I came to Britain in the early 80s. We were refugees long before it became fashionable. But my favourite immigrants are Polish people because they've properly confused old-fashioned racists. Have you seen them? They don't know what to do. What do we do? What do we say? They're immigrants, but they're white. I had this one bloke go, bloody Poles coming over here with their work ethic. Which isn't very politically correct, and I try so hard to be politically correct. Sometimes I take it too far. I was at a party recently and I said to my friend, have you met Steve? He's a really nice guy. My friend goes, which one's Steve? Steve was the only black guy in the room. I found myself going, Steve, yeah, he's over there. He's got blue jeans on, a grey T-shirt, sort of curly hair, and a Nigerian accent. And once I was performing at a comedy club and there was two black guys in the front row, like you two, but men and black. You are a man, sir, I'm sorry. It's the lights. And I said to them, so how do you two know each other? And they looked at each other and went, we don't. Might as well have had NF tattooed on my forehead. I didn't, it was felt tip. I like friendly, a little bit of friendly racism is nice. When I was a little girl, I used to always go to my friend Katie's house, and every time her dad opened the door, he'd go, hello, Shappi, been on holiday? So, I have a little boy, I have a baby boy, I'm a mum, and I'm looking at you, some of you are so young, I could be your mummy if I lived somewhere rural. Like a lot of women, I got to my 30s and I thought, I've got to have a baby now. Well, my mum's still young enough to look after it for me. And I went to all the antenatal classes, and this woman came up to me, one of the other mums goes, oh, how are you planning on losing your baby weight? And I was like, well, I was just thinking of having the child. And she was like, oh, I'm going to be a yummy mummy. I'm going to lose all my yummy mummy. That's just like a middle-class way of saying MILF. I was so happy when I found out that I was pregnant. And we had a scan and we knew that it was a boy. And people said to me, why did you find out the sex of your baby? Didn't you want a surprise? Well, it's going to be a boy or a girl, do you know what I mean? The only surprise would have been if it was a puppy. And there are no puppies in my family. There's one goat, it's not a blood relation. Thank goodness I have a child now. It was no fun being a broody Iranian woman. Every time I said to people, my body clock's ticking, they'd hit the ground. There was all that going on. When I did find out I was pregnant, I was So delighted. I thought, I am going to fill this child's life up with love and hope and understanding. My husband's reaction was slightly different. He walked around going, woohoo, my soldiers worked. Easy. It's not his. Oh, the fuss he made when he found out I was cheating on him. Only child. Can't share. My husband's English, he's from Nottingham, and a lot of people ask me if my husband's Iranian. And I go, well, he's not, he's English, but he's planning to convert. His family are absolutely lovely, and when they first met me, they kept going, oh, Shappi's so exotic, she's so exotic, which means foreign, but not in a way that we hate.
I failed 6 times in total, right? 6 times. Can anyone beat 6? There, 1 there. Good work, you didn't fail on reaction times, did you? Bang, you were in, no messing. Who passed first time? Where are you? There you are, still a little bit smug about it, I see. Good work. I would be as well. It's horrible failing, especially when, you know, there's stuff in your driving test that you don't even need to do again. Like, I remember parallel parking. That shouldn't be in your test. I'm only going, Jason, can you put your car between that red car and that blue car? I said, no, can't I said, don't even live there, mate. You know what I mean? When's that going to come in useful? Do you know what I mean? I said, there's an NCP up there, I park there all day for you. I'm brilliant at it. Multi-storey parking, I've got some sort of gift, you know what I mean? Although there's one thing that can ruin your day with multi-storey parking, right? And I'll tell you what it is. It's little cars, hiding, right? What they're doing, hiding behind big cars that from a distance look like a space. You think, oh, I've got one here, nice one. Oh, brilliant. Oh, bloody cheeky Chenso. I remember he failed me. I remember I got to a junction. When don't you do this, right? I got to a junction, I looked right, I said, all right, your side? Straight fail. What's he sat there for if he's not going to help you out, you know what I mean? My wife, she passed first time. I was very proud of her, you know. Well done. I didn't shake her hand, I don't know why I did that. It's a very formal relationship we've got. Well done, good night, darling. She passed first time, but she admitted to me afterwards she'd had a bit of a flirt. She'd wore a low-cut top and a short skirt, a bit of midriff, like, you know, showing. Oh, is that the gear stick? Sorry. Like, you know, proper went for it. The worst thing was, when I did that, that was another fail. I always wanted to learn how to drive like my dad, me. Dads are pretty good at driving, aren't they? They've got some sort of gift. Dads do stuff that nobody teaches you, right? You'll see a dad reversing. Nobody's taught him how to do this, right? But he's amazing at it. He puts his arm around the passenger seat like this, right? Nobody's taught him this. The examiner's not gone, we're going to do some reversing now. Have you got any kids? Yeah, I've got 2. Right. I'm going to show you how to properly do it. All right, so arm out like that. And my dad had used that because me and my brothers would be in the back. He'd need the back of his hand. Get your bloody heads down there, I can't see a thing. Wear a seatbelt. Wear a seatbelt. If you're not seeing that advert, you'll kill me as well. Right? It's proper mad, right? And then he'd reverse out of second gear, like out of a cul-de-sac and up an A-row without looking. It was amazing to see. And he shouldn't have even been driving, my dad, right? Because my dad's got narcolepsy, right? And I know. I laugh about it now because I'm still alive, right? But as a kid, it was terrifying. We go up to Blackpool on holiday, get in the middle lane of the motorway, you go, right, lads, if you hear this noise, wake me up. You shouldn't be using the rumble strips as an alarm clock, should you, at any point? Dad, hey, I'm only joking, just messing. We get up to Blackpool, you're like, I don't want to go on any rides, I'm all right, Dad, I'm fine. And it was a great disease for your dad to have as a kid, you know, growing up. We'd get away with all sorts when he was telling us off. Right, you 3, I've had enough of this. You lot are grounded for the... Yeah, whatever, we'll do what we want, old man. He'd use it for his advantage, though. Sometimes if he'd be talking to someone and he was bored, like my mum would be going, anyway, so our Barbara says he's not going to get back with Derek because my dad would just go. And then we'd be playing on the floor, we'd look up and he'd look at us and go... He'd wake up half an hour after dinner with a plate full of carrots. What's this happened again? What's going on? Well, the worst trick we ever did, right, we only played it once and we shouldn't have done it, was... I remember one time he fell asleep on the chair in the living room. Me and my brothers, we went upstairs, changed our clothes, come down, pretend he'd missed the day.
I get shocked about what I get annoyed by. I get really annoyed by pizza leaflets. Everyone here in London, you know, you get pizza leaflets through your door. I get 8 a day, sometimes more. You know, I shouldn't bother them. I should pick them up, put them in the bin. But everyone that comes through, I go... It's like someone standing next to you all day long going, do you want a pizza? Fancy a pizza? Do you want a pizza? Do you want a pizza? Fancy a pizza? No, I don't want a bloody pizza. I wouldn't mind if the photographs made them look tasty. But, you know, it looks like someone's cooked a kid's painting, doesn't it? Another thing that annoys me, tea bags. Oh, God. Because they're not bags, are they? You can't put anything in them, you can't take anything out. That's the minimum you expect from a bag, isn't it? If someone said to you, can you hold my bag? And you couldn't put anything in it, you couldn't take anything out. It hasn't got handles, don't have handles, do they? You know? Yeah. You go, it's not a bag, it's a cushion. Should be called tea, sealed yet perforated paper cage. Suppose they can't fit that on the box, can they? I'd meet them halfway. Herbal prison of permeable mesh. I'm a reasonable guy. Another thing drives me mental. You know, the self-checkouts at supermarkets. Oh, God. I come away from there. I don't not feel like a man. I don't even feel like a mammal. I feel like an amoeba when I come out of that place. Because nothing swipes, does it? I'm swiping, nothing swipes. OK, I won't have carrots this week. I can live without butter. The other day I was begging it to let me have a chicken. You know? No, just have a chicken. Just a chicken. I was rubbing it, banging it, swiping it. I'm going to leave the money here and I'm going, OK? You do your worst. Oh, I hate coming out of that place. Yeah? I walk up there with 2 bags of shopping. I come away with a can of Coke and an apple. And for some weird reason, the apple swiped. It hasn't got a sticker on it. It worries me. I get annoyed by the most... Do you know what really annoys me? Wrong numbers. People dial me up with the wrong number. But I don't get angry. What I do, and you should do this, it's great fun, I don't let on it's a wrong number. It's great fun. So someone rings up, you know, hello. They say, is Mandy there? I go, Mandy? Oh, yeah, just hold on a sec, Mandy! Mandy! Get your ass up here now! She's just coming, OK? Give me a sec. I don't know who it is. Some wanker! What have I told you? Don't wear your shoes in the house. Oh. Put the special slippers on. She's just changing her shoes.